I'm Tom and welcome to episode 9 of VinylCast, the unofficial Disney Vinylmation show brought to you by VinylmationPriceGuide.com. Let's start with the news. I haven't got much news to talk about this time because I want to devote more time to the feature this time, but firstly I'll say that a Cinderella set has been released that features 5 figures, and here's a picture, and it's not a mystery 12-box set, it's just 5 Cinderella figures, although you notice there's 2 smaller ones as well. I presume they come with one of the 5 big ones. Also been released is the Haunted Mansion Vinylmation series, which has been much anticipated by Vinylmation fans and Haunted Mansion fans alike. I know people who just collect everything Haunted Mansion related, so even if they don't collect Vinylmation, they might buy these. Otherwise it's a 12-box mystery series, it might frustrate them that they can't just have one of each. But yeah, that's been released, and I'm not going to say too much about it now because I'll talk about it a little bit later in the feature. That's it for the news. Let's move on to Vinylmation of the Month. Okay, now it's time for Vinylmation of the Month. If you're watching the last episode of VinylCast, you'll know that the Vinylmation of this month for September is Sunny Eclipse from Park 6. Now last time we said he was worth $8 approximately, and we still value him at that price. He hasn't changed in the 2 weeks, which we wouldn't expect. There's no reason for him to have changed really. I'm not going to say too much now because I'm very keen to get to the feature this time. So yep, $8, very nice figure. As I say on the bottom it says designed by Maria Kapsis, who's designed a lot of fantastic Vinylmation figures, very good designer. From Park Series 6, and it's based on the character Sunny Eclipse at the Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe in Magic Kingdom, Walt Disney World, Florida, where he performs. He's an animatronic and he performs a musical act which I think loops every 25 minutes. So very nice. He's wearing his waistcoat with his stars and more stars on the back. Nice character and a nice figure, and yeah, if you haven't got it already, do try and get your hands on it because it's a very nice Park Series figure. But that's all I'm going to say. It's $8, so quite a cheap figure to get. And there'll be a different Vinylmation of the Month next month, since we'll be in October, getting closer and closer to Christmas. And that's all I'm going to say. That's been the Vinylmation of the Month this month. Let's move on to the feature of this week. Okay, the reason I was so keen to get onto the feature this week is because it's all about Mickey's Circus. I'm sure you probably already know if you collect Vinylmation, but just in case you don't, I'll say that Mickey's Circus is was the big Vinylmation / pin training event that took place on September the 9th. Well, the Vinylmation portion of the event took place on September the 9th. There was also a pin portion the day before and other little things going on at hotels and stuff. But the Vinylmation portion took place on September the 9th at the World Showplace, which is a big hall, a big room in in Epcot World Showcase, World Showplace in World Showcase. So it's a bit confusing, yes, but that's where it was held. Well, I didn't go to it this year, unfortunately, but I did go to the similar event last year that was called Florida Project. I just went to the afternoon, to the Vinylmation portion then, which was on September the 9th last year. It was free to go in the afternoon after all the main events had finished. So they don't seem to have done that this time. It seems so you had to pay and just pay for the whole event. It's a bit of a shame, but that's how it works. If you're a keen Vinylmation collector, you'll happily pay the price. Although, since it was held in Epcot, you did have to have valid Epcot admission as well for that day. So if you're not an annual pass holder or you weren't planning on going to the parks anyway, then the price can soon add up. But anyway, I didn't get to go to Mickey's Circus event this year, unfortunately, but lots of people did, and I'd like to thank YouTube user Vinylbot2012 for providing a few videos to us, or for rather putting them onto YouTube, and I was asking him if we could borrow them. So yes, thank you Vinylbot2012. I'd like to show you one of his videos now that he took at Mickey's Circus at the Vinylmation event on September 9th, so here you go.
Hello everyone, good morning. It's a rainy, soggy South Florida morning, but I'm here at Mickey's Circus at the World Showcase, just opened up here a little while ago. Quite a few people here already. Disney's done a great job again of setting everything up, and the theme looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. More to follow, folks.
So now that you've watched that video, you should have a little idea of what the event is like at Epcot in the World Showplace. It features previews of upcoming Vinylmations that haven't been released yet, displays of various things, maybe not even Vinylmation related. Last year when I went, there was a mock-up of the Toad's Wild Ride facade that used to be at Magic Kingdom, and a kind of model of the monorail and contemporary building, I think it was, if I remember rightly. Something like that anyway, but this year it was all themed around Mickey's Circus, so there was all circus themed things which you should be able to see a bit of in the video. There's also Vinylmation trading and talks, so it really is quite a good event. I'm not going to show you any of the talks, even though people have uploaded them to YouTube. I'm not going to show you any of the talks because they're quite long, and that's kind of the thing Disney might not want us to show to keep just for event guests. But now I've made a list of a lot of the announcements that were made at Mickey's Circus. Unfortunately I can't talk about absolutely everything because there was just loads and loads of stuff announced. I'm sure if you find Vinylmation blogs online you'll be able to see even more detail. I'm just going to talk about the key 9 things that I think you'll be interested in. And I have got a couple more videos of the event coming up a little bit later. So first I'd like to talk about popcorns. Now we've already seen a couple of popcorns figures announced, released, but there's more to come. So there were previews of other popcorn figures, but the key thing talked about was, even though we don't know perhaps how successful the whole popcorn series is at the moment, it's very early days, they are going to release a second popcorn series, Popcorns 2, in 2013 in the fall time. And for those of you that don't know, the popcorn figures aren't the normal Mickey shape, they're a special popcorn / Mickey shape. Here's a picture of one, but there's loads of others going to be released. So I'm not going to talk too long about each thing because there's quite a lot to get through. Mechanical Kingdom is going to be released on the 5th of October. That's an interesting Vinylmation series. I'll let you make your own mind up about what you think of that one. But here's a picture. Park 11, it seems like these park series are released so quickly. Park 11 is going to be released at throughout the parks on October the 19th this year, and it's themed, it's Disney's California Adventure themed, which is the Disneyland sister park in California, which some Florida residents aren't so happy about that, but they've had a lot of Florida themed Vinylmations released in the past, so it's about time California gets some. So yeah, that's been released, and here's a picture of that one. And thank you to UK collector Nelly for that picture. Also, the Urban series of animation is getting a new series called Urban Redux. That's not going to be released till February next year, so we'll probably talk a bit more about that on a future episode. Also releasing next year is Animation 3. Again, I'm not going to show pictures of all of these or talk about all of these in much detail because I'll save them for close to the time to talk more about them, because otherwise you'll have forgotten by the time it comes round. So I'll try and talk about that closer to January, which is when it's being released. We've already seen 2 animation series, so a 3rd one is being released. Muppets 3 is also being released sometime early next year. We've seen obviously 2 Muppet series, and then there'll be Muppets 3. Whether that will be as popular as the first 2 I'm not so sure, because a lot of the main characters have been released in the first one, and then I prefer the first one to the second one because that is much more of the well-known characters. I never really watched the Muppets. It was perhaps a little bit before my time, but I have seen the Muppet films and the recent Muppet movies, so I do like the Muppets, but I don't really know every character that well, so I'm more keen on the first series because it's the main characters. But for big Muppets fans, Muppets 3 may be really good, I don't know, we'll have to see. Now here's a picture of a series that's going to be released in 2013, one a month, called the 2013 series. This picture again is from Nelly in the UK, so thank you. And it's interesting. Obviously it can't be blind box because it's only one a month, so it's open window ones. But it looks quite nice. We'll have to see how popular that will be. And again, I'll talk about that hopefully each month next year. Here's one I'm quite excited about. Pixar 1. The series is going to be released in November. So not long away. But I will again talk about that near the time. There will be many Pixar characters in it, including Nemo, which looks really good. So hopefully I'll get pictures of that and talk a bit more about it as we get a little bit closer, sometime next month. Now there's a new mould announced in the shape of Minnie Mouse rather than Mickey Mouse, which is going to be released, which is going to be used for one series to begin with, but a special series suitable for that mould, but then will be used for more series in the future. So it's interesting because we've seen loads and loads of figures release since the launch of Vinylmation, and you have to think they've done a lot of big main characters, and they're having to use the not so well known characters, and having to do characters twice, like they've done Darth Vader twice. Is there going to come a point when they've done all the main characters and they can't think of new ones? I don't think so, but this is one way of introducing new figures by having a new mould. And some people say, oh, it's not Vinylmation to have any mould apart from Mickey, but it depends what you think of Vinylmation as. I think Disney really think Vinylmation is something where perhaps you have one mould and then there's lots of different designs on the one mould, or maybe that wasn't really the case with Park Stars though, or maybe there's some kind of blind box element where you don't know which one you're getting. So I think Disney really tried to extend the brand of Vinylmation away from just that simple Mickey mould. So let me know your opinions on having different moulds in the comments. But I don't know, for me it depends on the mould. I'm not so keen on the Park Stars ones myself because they're all different moulds. It doesn't really make sense for Vinylmation to me, apart from they're blind boxed or blind tinned. But the mini mould I can live with. Popcorns, yes. The monorail one's okay. But the one I'm not so keen on is Vinylmation 95, which has also been announced for new designs at Mickey Circus. It's in the shape of Lightning McQueen, but there's all different designs. There's going to be Pixar designs on the Lightning McQueen mould. I'm not so keen on that, but again, I don't have to buy it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. It's also been announced at Mickey Circus is Jingle Smells 2. Now you might remember the first Jingle Smells series. This was one of the figures from that. But again, there's more coming soon. So maybe I'll be buying them this Christmas, maybe I won't. We'll have to see. The new figures, I think there's a Minnie Mouse one that smells of cherry pie. So they're suitable for hanging on your Christmas tree. I didn't really think they smelled that much last time, but I did buy one and hang it on my Christmas tree. So we'll see. Also being released in December is the Alani open box series. Now Alani is the hotel / Disney resort in Hawaii. So these are themed to that resort. Myths and Legends will be released. Again, I'll try and talk about nearer to when it's relaunched. Some of these I'm just skipping over fairly quickly because there's so much to talk about, and I will talk about them more on the show nearer the launch and when they're launched, I promise. So there was just so much announced at Mickey Circus. That's why it was such a really good event, really. But on the downside, you're going to all have to start saving your pennies because there's so much being released. So now I'd like to show you another video from Vinylbot 2012 on YouTube. So thanks for this one, Vinylbot 2012, and I will include a link in the description to where you can watch more videos of his from, or hers, sorry, I don't know, more videos of theirs. No, sorry, you can tell in the video because they're filming it there. So yeah, I'll show you more videos of his. I've got two more, this one and one other one. Then if you want to see even more from Mickey Circus, you can head to his YouTube channel. The link is in the description of this video. So here it is. This is showing a little bit of the trading floor that you can visit at Mickey Circus. Maybe this will help you decide whether you want to go to the event next year, because I'm sure there'll be another one next year. In fact, I think it's going to be Friday the 13th film themed next year. So here's the video.
Hello everyone, live at Mickey Circus. I'm back in the trading area. Let's see what everyone's got. Hello again. Very nice.
Tomorrow, Park 5 Chaser, the Park 9 Chasers came out.
It's a little empty here, but it's still early. I'll be checking back with you. Over and out.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that short video. And I'd like to mention that you may or may not be aware that there's a movie coming out sometime next year, I believe, called Oz the Great and Powerful. And there's going to be a Vinylmation series to coincide with that release, so we'll find out more about that series next year. Also, you may like or you may not like the Robot series of Vinylmation. There's been 2 series of that, the most recent one being one where you can mix and match the different parts of robots to make new robots. And there's going to be a new Robot series released called Robots 3 next year. Also, already being released recently was the Cinderella Clock Strikes 12 9-inch Vinylmation. I wouldn't be surprised if this is already sold out, but I'm not sure. So, here's some pictures, and this 9-inch Vinylmation has is obviously themed to Cinderella. You can see the clock on the back, Big Ben presumably, and it's a very nice design, but I'm sure it'll be very popular, so if it hasn't sold out already, it will do very quickly. At the moment, we don't estimate prices for 9-inch figures on vinylmationpricecode.com, but I'm not going to rule it out for the future. So that's already been released. And Star Wars 3 is going to be out sometime next year. There's already been 2 Star Wars series, and the second one wasn't released that long ago. So, is there more Star Wars characters? There must be. But again, a lot of the main characters have been done. We've already seen Darth Vader, Princess Leia, all the main ones that you can think of, R2-D2, C-3PO, Obi-Wan Kenobi, all those ones have already been done. But again, Darth Vader has been done twice, differently slightly each time, so could some of the same characters be done again? We'll have to see next year. Both the Star Wars series have been extremely popular, so I'm sure this one will too, whatever characters they choose. Now, here's a picture again from Nelly in the UK, thank you, of a preview shown at Mickey's Circus of the Classic Collection, which is a collection featuring loads of classic pictures, hence the name, classic characters, sorry, from the early days of Disney, all of them shown in black and white, all of the series in black and white, although I'm sure those characters can be found in colour as well these days, but whether they're originally black and white, I'm not sure. So it looks a really nice collection, and that's going to be released in November, so we'll look forward to that one. Park Stars 1 is going to be sold again apparently, so they're making more of those, or found some more from somewhere to sell, unless they're making more variants of them, like they have done of the Bride when they've done variants done later on, but in some form anyway. Park Stars 1 is coming back, and also Park Stars 2 will be released in spring next year, so Park Stars 1 must have been very popular for them to decide to do a second one. So although a lot of people didn't like the new moulds, a lot of people must have done and wanted to buy them as well, and that's been proven actually by the fact that the Bride variants and other ones have sold out very quickly. Also, here's a picture of the upcoming Nursery Rhyme series. Obviously, hence the name, it features many Nursery Rhymes characters, and it does look nice. It does look quite different from the standard Vinylmation series. The designs are quite intriguing, quite detailed, so it does look quite nice. That'll be released at some point in the future, and also coming out sometime next year is the Monsters University series, to coincide with the release of the Monsters University film, which is the sequel, or rather they call it a prequel to Monsters Inc., because it's supposed to be set in time before Monsters Inc., when all the monsters were still at university. So it's called Monsters University. And the Haunted Mansion series I mentioned briefly earlier in the news, previews of that were shown at the Mickey's Circus, but it's only been a couple of weeks since Mickey's Circus, and in that time that series has been released. So it's one of the first to actually have been released after the event, It features, well, here's a picture. Again, thanks to Nelly in the UK for that. That picture shows a lot of the characters that are in that series. Basically, loads of different characters from Haunted Mansion. And what is nice about it is the style's a bit different because it's see-through blues and greens, so it's a bit different to your standard coloured filled-in figure. So that does look a really nice series. It's already available on disneystore.com and the normal places. So if you like that series, go out and buy it, because it is out there now, already released. And there's a lot of people who like Haunted Mansion, so I'm sure a lot of you out there want to buy it. Now that's everything, all the series I want to talk about that was announced at Mickey's Circus this year, but they weren't the only ones to be announced. There were other limited edition open box ones and ones. They were the main series, but there were other limited edition ones announced. So I can't talk about absolutely everything because there's just so much to talk about, but again, look for things coming out in the future. Keep an eye out on disneystore.com and vinylmation.com, and check out other websites for blogs and things from the event. So to finish off our Mickey Circus feature, I'd like to show you a final video from Vinylbot 2012 on YouTube. And again, if you want to see more videos from him, please head to his YouTube channel. There's a link below in the description, and hopefully if you're watching this on YouTube itself, there should be a link around about here for you to click on, so please do. But if not, I'm sure it's just youtube.com/Vinylbot2012. So here is the final video.
Hello, I'm going to give you a walkthrough. Nice ears.
My hand-eye coordination.
It's Thomas Scott. Sorry for making you dizzy.
Now we do have a viewer submission to finish off this episode of VinylCast. This is from Louise in the UK, who sent me this picture, so thank you, Louise. And this is her collection, which is very nicely displayed on a row of shelves. Some very nice figures there. I've got it up on here, but you can see it nice and big. In fact, there's no point in me saying I can get it up on here because I've filled the screen with the picture. So I can see some very nice ones. We've got the Disneyland, Paris, Goofy and Donald and ones there. I can see all the Donalds seem to be in a row and then all the Goofies in a row. Very nice way of displaying it rather than series by series. And Toy Story ones I can see, Animation 2 ones, and well, you can see what there is, but there are obviously some very nice ones. There's a little bit of a trick going on though. The rhino hamster-like one in the ball, that's not really there. That's just a cutout paper cutout picture of him. Although I have been told that she has actually got that figure. She just won't fit there, and used to have that picture before she actually got it. So, well, there's Chip and Dale I can see. If you want to have a longer look at this picture, please do zoom in There's some very nice Park Series figures down the bottom as well. Jiminy Cricket there is one of my personal favourites on the middle shelf. So yeah, very nice series. Thank you for that picture, Louise. That's the only viewer submission we're having this time, but I'd like to include some viewer submissions each time. So thank you, Louise. If you'd like to see that picture for longer, just pause it there. But we're going to move on. If I look a bit brighter now, for some reason the light on the camcorder has just suddenly decided to turn itself on. Maybe it thinks it's a bit dark in here. That's all for this episode. If you'd like to contact us, please email vinylcast@vinylmationpriceguide.com or tweet us at vinylmationpg, or visit us on Facebook, facebook.com/vinylmationpg. And I'd just like to say we have had messages saying when you're going to add more series to the website on vinylmationpriceguide.com. There aren't enough series. We know and we're sorry, but we are adding more. We don't make money from this website, we just do it in our spare time, it's like a hobby. So the process is slow, it's quite a long process to add each series and calculate the prices. So we're trying, and we will add more as time goes on, we promise. We hope to add more Park Series very soon. So again, that's all I'm going to say in this episode. See you in 2 weeks' time for another episode of VinylCast with another Vinylmation of the month. We will be in October. And thank you, as always, for watching. Hope you've enjoyed excuse me. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you, and goodbye.